Hi guys, welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. Soph and Meg are back, recapping the game that has just happened. Obviously, United against City. That's what I'm just going to give it a huff. That's what I'm going to do at the minute. Meg, firstly, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I am. Yeah, it's disappointing, isn't it? But at the same time, I'm still sat here saying, I just said to you, we actually didn't play bad, but I have to sit here and say that they deserve to win 100%. They played better.
Do you think it was a case of like City have just simply got more quality than us? Like, because City, you have to say, probably did deserve the win at the end of the day. We had a few chances, no denying that. We had a few chances where I think we should have done better, and we keep saying that week in, week out, when we don't take our chances, you're punished. But I just felt like City just seemed to have more quality tonight, Meg.
They did, but actually, I think we had a really strong team, and I know there's going to be comments. I've seen it already that we didn't play Eric Bailly, and I expected that in between these next couple of games that at some point he wouldn't be featured because we know that he's injury prone. He's just played 4 games on the bounce, and he has played really well. But like we want him to stay fit, so therefore I think they need to be able to manage him. And I think Ollie's obviously done it this game to say, okay, well, you've played 4 on the bounce. Make sure that you're recuperated, ready for the next set of great games. In terms of their quality, like I said, I think actually we had a really strong team. But the quality of the play, they had better.
I agree. I'll touch on one player, Bruno Fernandes. We know how good Bruno Fernandes is. We also know how frustrating he can be. There's a few times today where he could have played a simple ball and he tried the extravagant one. And it just shows us that when he isn't playing well, as a team, we struggle, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do rely heavily on him. And again, there was one, and I think it's the first half, and I think you messaged me at the time. He was like, "That's so annoying." It was very end of the first half, and he went to flick it, and all you need to do was control it and then play it. And he'd have been Rashford. I think it was Rashford that was on the out on the right. Would have been set through, and it was just little bits of quality that he lacked. And I think when he lacks it, we all lack. Well, not we, because I wasn't playing, but you know what I mean. The whole team falls off a little bit.
He's that important to us, isn't he? It's that simple. Bruno Fernandes, if he turns up, we're in with a chance, and when he doesn't, we can't seem to find that spark from somewhere else. I mean, a player that you messaged me about was Rashford as well. I felt like he was always a threat for us, and he was always making positive runs. But like you say, he was offside too many times, wasn't he?
Yeah, it got like annoying at some point because I was just like, you are the perfect out ball on that right hand side. He'd got the beating of Zinchenko. He'd isolated him. And honestly, all you had to do was look along the line and just stay on side. Just make sure you angle your run along the line, and then go. Yeah. He just stepped off a couple of times, and it was frustrating to watch because you knew that he'd got the beating of Zinchenko. The one shot that Diaz had that came sliding in and blocked the shot.
Yeah.
Left Zinchenko for dead, literally stood him upright and did him. So really liked the fact that he got into those positions and been able to isolate Zinchenko, but just watching him, and again, it just goes down to that little bit of quality, holding your run and timing it properly.
Yeah, completely agree. And Twisting makes a good point. That's now the 4th semi-final loss for Ollie. Are you concerned about that, Meg? Do you think it's a mentality thing? If you just haven't got that mentality to get past that stage before the final, what do you think it is? Or is it just simply a case of us being unlucky? I mean, I don't think we were unlucky tonight by any chance. I really don't. I thought that City deserved to win. Like you say, we didn't play bad, but I just felt like there was a clash between us at times. We just weren't up to scratch. Our key players just weren't up to scratch tonight, and I think that's what killed us, really.
Yeah, I don't think it's unlucky. Like we said, we actually don't think we played bad, but we didn't play well enough to win.
Yeah,
and
I
they
agree.
played well enough to win. I feel like we played not really well, but I feel like we played good in the middle third and the defensive third, but I think we were on different pages in the attacking third. It was like it didn't quite click. Passes were going astray. We wanted to seem to run into City defenders, which is annoying. They literally stood up, had a little look, and was like, "Oh, there's 2 defenders there. Let's go and run into them." But we weren't on the same page in that final third.
Yeah, I mean, Mark's is a good point. Ollie frustrates me with the zone on marking, so stubborn and won't change it when it's cost us so many goals. Meg, we are so concerned of set pieces, aren't we? We're so vulnerable. If we don't win the first ball, we definitely don't win the second ball. Like, we just seem to struggle at clearing set pieces. And who does that fall down to? Obviously, we missed it at the near post. Maguire didn't react to it. I mean, it's kind of a comedy of errors, wasn't it? We're just so sloppy when it comes to defending set pieces.
It was like, I said to you, Shaw lost his man, which that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have a responsibility and you're going to mark a player, you mark that player. Lindelof's just stuck a limb out. It was like a little T-Rex leg that kind of like flicked out, but there was no like desire to go and attack the ball and clear it. In the box, defending the goal, you put your life on the line and you go and put your whole body in front of the ball. And it didn't do that. And I don't think Stones expected it to go through. Maguire and Shaw clearly didn't expect it because they stopped. And that's how they scored.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Van der Beek? Diego here says that he felt that Van der Beek should have started with Fred. They complement each other better than Fred and McTominay. Obviously, Fred and McTominay have been really good, especially when we're playing more defensive and we need to be a bit more conservative in the middle. Fred and McTominay have played well, you can't deny that. But Van der Beek, bring them on for, was it 4 minutes? 3 or 4 minutes? I mean, what's he meant to do in that time, Meg?
I mean, what is there to do in 4 minutes? I don't think the likelihood that you're going to go and score 2 goals, minimal. What if he doesn't play against Watford? He may as well just pack his bags, in my opinion. There's no plan for him. If I don't see him playing against Watford, what is the plan for Van der Beek? Because why would you not give him an opportunity? I actually quite liked Fred and McTominay in the middle today. I don't really think we did much wrong. Wan-Bissaka's clearance for the goal is the one place you tell defenders don't clear the ball to.
Yeah.
If you're going to clear the ball, it goes high and wide. It doesn't go head high into the centre of the pitch. And we didn't go and attack the ball in terms of the corner. But actually in the midfield, I think we grafted. I think we played well.
Yeah, and Doug's asked, do we think that Woodward signed Van der Beek and not Ollie? I mean, it looks that way at the minute, doesn't it? The fact that he's not getting a look in, giving him 4 minutes to make an impact in the game, he'd already 2-0 down. It's just frustrating. A lot of people wanted him to start, or if not, come on after half time. But I mean, I agree with not making a change maybe at half time because we were still in the game at that point. And like you say, we weren't playing badly. We were just kind of waiting for us to click. And I guess Ollie was kind of hoping that would happen. We have been a second half team, so I don't blame him for that. But I mean, thoughts, you mentioned Boye earlier. Do you think a lot of people in the chat are saying that Ollie deserves criticism for not starting Boye? The fact that Boye didn't play, maybe it would have been a different outcome. I mean, I'm not saying that we lost because Eric Boye didn't start. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. But he's one of these players, isn't it, that you really want him to play, but at the same time, he's fragile.
Precisely. Like I said, I expected not to see him within the next 2 games. At some point, we have to protect a player that we want to play, but also if you play him too much, he's not going to be there for the longevity of the rest of the season. So yeah. I didn't. Obviously, I want him to play like you said, but I also didn't mind the fact that he didn't play because I do think these are the types of games that you need to rotate a little bit for. He didn't do the whole squad. I think there'll be more changes come Watford. Yeah. But you can't just say we lost because Eric Bailly wasn't on the pitch.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. It does strengthen us, but I don't think that was the case at all. What I will say is I felt Diaz had a great game for Man City. I thought he was a rock at the back, quality. Yeah. Stones is also seeming to be hitting form as well. But Lindelof, like, people forget, like, people were saying he's our most improved player not so long back. Alongside Maguire, it just doesn't seem to be clicking at the minute. But Lindelof is perfectly good enough to be able to start against Man City, in my opinion. It's just that as a unit, as a defence at the minute, we're a bit vulnerable, especially on set pieces, as we've already mentioned. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm blue. That's what I'll shorten it nowadays. Why is nobody talking about our offence? We had plenty of chances. Maguire gang, hashtag Maguire. Yeah, I agree. I think, like I say, we had chances. We could have quite easily scored as well. So decision making in the final third, though, isn't it, Meg? It's so frustrating at times because you know how good we are, but it's almost like we're trying to be a bit too clever for me. It's like we're trying to do the perfect pass. Rather than playing a simple pass, we're trying to do it with the outside of our foot. And Bruno is one of the main examples of that. But I think we're constantly taking an extra touch and trying to be too intricate, if you like.
Yeah, I just feel like offensively we didn't click. We weren't on the same page in that final third. It was just like the first corner when we had the 3 or the 4 in a wall in front of Stefan in goal. And then Maguire's obviously gone and won the header. They've obviously worked on something like it. But then Martial or Lindelof wasn't at the back post. Well, if you've worked on it, then why didn't you expect to do it? It just wasn't all there. It was like 80% there. When you need 100% for a goal, it's never going to come. You can create opportunities like we did. I think we created plenty of opportunities, but that last 20% in front of goal wasn't there. But I will just say, because you put someone, whoever sent the super chat, and Blue, put Maguire gang. I actually think Harry Maguire had a really solid defensive game, bar that one bit where he didn't go and attack and he stopped running on that corner. He actually did the very basics of defending really well. He cleared the ball, and when he cleared it, he fully cleared the ball well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I wish I had the opportunity to just have a quick look onto the stats now. The amount of shots he must have blocked tonight.
He did one phase, didn't he, where he blocked like 2 in a row, 3 in a row.
Yeah, and he got one-on-one a couple of times with Sterling, and he literally stopped the ball. And I love, as a defender, that's one of my favourite things to do when you've got an attacker running at you and you literally stop the ball dead and the player keeps running. Like one of the best tackles. So I just wanted to say, because I know he gets a lot of slack from a lot of people, that actually Maguire had a good defensive game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say yesterday it was being poor. I think he had a decent game. What frustrates me is the fact that, again, we talk about defensive errors that have cost us. It's not like City have played through us. It's 2 defensive errors that have caused us to lose this game tonight, and obviously offensively not being good enough as well. But it's just simple things like we see it a lot this season. Vulnerable at the back, especially off set pieces. And surely we've got to learn. When are we going to learn? Sooner rather than later, something needs to change, because we're in a title race, whether people like to admit it or not, we are. But if you're going to keep conceding goals like that, then I'm afraid then you're going to be out of it very soon, aren't you? Let's face it. So I think we need to improve massively at the back, because, like I say, it hasn't just been this game. We've conceded many goals off set pieces, and it's frustrating. I want to ask about Cavani. Obviously, he's banned still at the moment. I know Uruguayan players have all been backing him and standing up for him, which is fantastic. But do you think that if he played tonight, it would have been a different story? Do you think that, I mean, you saw Rashford put a great ball into the box. You saw a few good balls in from Shaw. If Cavani was in there, do you think that it could have been a bit of a different story? Because we seem to lack that presence in the area, especially when we're whipping the ball in.
Sorry, my laptop was about to die.
It's no worries.
Sorry. I think we've obviously got to this is the 4th semi-final in a row that we've now failed to get past. And I think when you've got somebody like Cavani, not only do they bring the knowledge of knowing where the net is, they bring that little bit of knowledge of composing the team to get through the game and to win the game. And I'm not saying that the players on the pitch can't do that, but I just think that if you've got someone a little bit more experienced who's been through that experience of getting through that game, and especially when they're leading the line, that dictates the whole play.
Yeah.
But he's not there, so you've got to learn to do it by yourself. But this team needs to win a semi-final to break this kind of
mold, if you like.
This like myth that we can't get past these semi-finals. This team needs to get through one, because I think once you get through one, then we'd get through another and another and another. But it's that first one. I
agree, and obviously City are very experienced. Kamlash said that in the chat. Just their experience, that they've won that competition. Last 3 years? Is it 3 years now? So they're experienced in the competition as well. But I agree. I think it could be a mentality thing, but we need to get over that hurdle. I'm just frustrated that City didn't have to play through us to win that game tonight. Again, it was as Alex says, thank you so much for the super chat, Alex. Our defensive frailties were exposed again. Zonal marking just doesn't work at set pieces and needs scrapping. Our front line were off colour. Completely agree.
I
completely agree with that.
The zonal marking, but on this occasion, Luke Shaw should have gone with the player. You don't ever let your player get to that side of you, whether you think the ball's coming or not. And I'm not saying solely Luke Shaw, But I'm saying that Stones was being marked. Stones wasn't in a zonal area. Stones was a one-on-one being marked.
Yeah, I agree. Alex, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate that. Appreciate the support as always. Meg, we're going to shoot onto the player ratings. Obviously, I'm not feeling too good today, guys. Come back from work. I'm not the best, so we're going to blast this one out, but we still need to do the content, obviously, and talk about it. Otherwise, people will think that I just haven't shown up because we've lost, and that's definitely not the case. We're here, we're still doing it. But start off with Meg, Henderson in goal. I mean, he made some great saves, didn't he? Distribution, I'd probably say he's not quite as good as De Gea, but I think he made some good saves tonight. What would you give him out of 10? Obviously, 5 is normally an average for us.
I'd actually give him a 7. 6.5, a 6.5, not a 7, a 6.5. He made some really good saves. The second goal, Fernandinho's goal, I didn't expect it.
He didn't see it really, did he? I don't think.
No, I didn't expect Fernandinho to hit it like he did, literally into the corner. I just don't ever think he would have got down to it. Like you said, I don't think he saw it either. But I'd give him a 6.5 for some of the saves that he did. Like you said, his distribution, not quite there, but I feel like he's getting more confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Kane, I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Big downer is that we don't have Vardy or Kane. I mean, I would love Vardy or Kane at United. That proper striker, and they'll definitely add to our team for sure. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Alex has said a 7. Twisted, thank you for that. I appreciate it. 5, so an average game, another 5 there. Alex says probably our best player at a 7. Asif said 6. James, thank you for that. I appreciate it. 6.75 from Twisted. I mean, I think he was above the saves that he made. I'd have to say he was above average, to be honest with you. I mean, I think a 6.5, a 7 isn't far off. I mean, Meg, what shall we agree on for him? And I'll write it down. I'll keep all our scores.
Because I'm not... Listen, unless you literally boot the ball into your own net time and time again, I'm not ever going to say on it that players are a 2 out of 10, because if they're a 2 out of 10, then Lord help us, because they're playing for Manchester United. So I always kind of push him a little bit higher, because I think when you're a 10 out of 10, sometimes you could be a 14 out of 10, but you'd only ever get a 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to give him a 7. I'll boost mine up.
7, I'll agree with that one. Wan-Bissaka on the right hand side, we mentioned his header not being their best for the second goal. Doug, thank you so much for the super chat. Get well soon, Sophie. Go as key workers indeed. I hope you're all right as well, Doug. Staying strong. And thank you for the super chat. But Wan-Bissaka, Meg, it just frustrates me going forward so much.
It was interesting that Sterling wasn't on his side tonight. I did think that was quite interesting to see. Yeah, again, I don't think he did too much wrong, except for that one where he headed the ball straight into the area that you don't head the ball to. But I'd probably go for a 5, like a 5.5, 6.
5.5?
Again, I think defensively we played better than we did attacking, which is weird when you've only scored, when you concede 2 goals and you think you've played better defensively.
Yeah, I think I'll push it. I'll probably say a 5.5 for him. I'd say slightly above average. It wasn't a wow game from him. Could have done better for the goal. But yeah, I just don't think it was an amazing game. So, but I don't think it was awful. It didn't wow me. And like I say, going forward, it just frustrates me. I feel like we really lack on that right hand side with Wan-Bissaka going forward. So yeah, 5.5 from me then. Lindelof, the player that a lot of people wasn't expecting maybe to come straight back into the team, but he did.
I'll give him a 5.5 as well.
5.5?
Short, simple, 5.5. Not a wow game, but also not like overly wrong.
I agree with that.
That annoying little limb that he stretched out rather than actually going to attack the ball for the corner.
Yeah, I have to agree. Harry Maguire then, skipper. I actually agree with you. I think he had a fairly solid game. I'd just say I wish he'd reacted faster to the goal, but when it's flying across like that and there's players in front of you and you think they're going to get a touch, it's hard, isn't it? I think I've just got high expectations, to be honest with you. But Harry Maguire, get in the chat, guys. Let us know what you think. I mean, some people
My
saying,
face for this, sorry, was that comment.
Meg's a centre back. You should never do this.
Sorry, if the centre backs are a 0, are we on minus numbers for everybody else? BC, please explain. Honestly, if they're a 0, Lord help us when we get to the front 3. But sorry, back to Maguire. I'm actually going to give him a 7. Screw you, BC. We're going for a 7. I might push him to a 7.5.
Well, Twisted has gone for a 7.5. We've got a 5.5 here. We've got a 3 there.
A 3?
United fan 30 years, thank you so much. You said this hurts, opportunity miss next 5 crucial. Definitely we need to bounce back from that. Thank you so much for the contribution. We appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. It is frustrating, isn't it, Meg? When you get so close again, like it is frustrating. You know what? 6.5. I'm going to go with a 7. I think I'm going to agree with you, Meg, on that one. I think Maguire did well at the back. Didn't really do a lot wrong. I think he did try and drive forward to the ball a few times. Yeah, I think he had a decent game. Like I say, it wasn't. I think the frustrating thing is when you see balls put into the box, Harry Maguire is the player that we signed to be that commander and to basically wipe everyone out and win those balls. And I don't think he does that often enough. But I think in terms of the goals today, it wasn't majorly at fault. So it's harsh to judge him on that. But yeah, he was decent. Luke Shaw then, who had a great game the other day, but a lot of people I saw on Twitter were saying that they weren't impressed with him tonight. And what was your take on Luke Shaw's performance, Meg?
Sorry, moment of the match from Luke Shaw when he absolutely wakes Cancelo onto the ground. Brilliant. I was willing to do it again and again after that. For that, you can have an extra bonus point. They can't even hear it. Is that about Maguire?
Yeah. To be fair, I think it's more the attacking, I think, because you want him to score some. He gets to them, and it just seems to hit someone else's limb or ping off, and you know what I mean? It's just not going in. I just want him to get a bullet header.
I agree with most of the people that are commenting on here right now. A 6 for me.
6, but I'll give him a 10 just for that shoulder block.
6 for the bonus.
Yeah, 6 definitely. I don't, again, slightly above average. I think he was slightly more effective than Wan-Bissaka, but again, it's hard to go any higher than that with the defensive frailties that we have. But right, we'll start off with Fred in the holding midfield role then, Meg. What's your take on Fred? He got that yellow card, and I was thinking, oh God, is he going to get another red?
When Ollie didn't take him off as well, I was thinking, why? When are we going to learn from this? If he gets sent off now, all hell is going to break loose. I think this is one.
This is for you, Meg.
They're not. Explain how Stones scored the first goal. They should have blocked it. I agree that they should have blocked it, but I also think Lindelof flicking half a leg out is worse than Maguire not going to get it. And also, Shaw was marking Stones, not Maguire. So between Lindelof, I'm not saying that Maguire is not at fault at all. He's got to take partial responsibility because he needs to make sure that he's going to attack the ball no matter what. And even if you don't expect the ball to come all the way through to you, that you should follow the flight of the ball. However, Lindelof needs to put more than half a leg out and stick it like the hokey cokey. And Shaw needs to make sure that he's always goal side.
There you go. Spoken like a true defender there, Meg. Liam said, why does Shaw take the corners? 4 out of 10 for me. You know what? I think Luke Shaw, I'm going to say his delivery since Tellers has come in has improved. Like, I think he whips in a decent ball every now and again. I mean, it is weird how all of a sudden he's been put on set pieces. Do you think like they just stumbled across the fact that he could cross the ball in training? Because it seemed for so long that he couldn't. He didn't have that in his game. And then all of a sudden Tellers comes in and he's got it. Why do you think that? Why do you think that Luke Shaw's taking them?
I've got absolutely no idea. But also, when you're 2-0 down, and just for a bit of pride, you've got a corner the very last second, please get it over the first man. Because there is nothing more frustrating as a fan to sit there and think, well, that sums up our game tonight. Literally, one of the last kicks of the game, we got a nice corner. I thought, just pop this in, consolation goal. No, we didn't even get past the first bloody man.
Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? Especially if you're a centre-back. I mean, you'll know this firsthand. If you've got a little pitch to attack it and it doesn't even reach the box, then that must be really frustrating.
And the look, looks could kill. Honestly, sometimes you think, just ran all this way.
McTominay. Oh no, Fred. Sorry,
Yeah, Fred.
Fred. I've took the chat. I've got from a 5.5 to a 7 on Fred. So yeah, where are you going to go?
Did the dirty work, broke the play up. What are you saying? Before I go them too high.
Like you said, I think he brought the play up well. I think on the ball sometimes he's a bit frustrating. Freddie's a bit rash, to be honest with you. He gets the ball back, but then he gives it them back just as fast sometimes, which is annoying. But his work rate in there and his tenacity, I think, is hard to match. I just felt Gundogan and Fernandinho had a really good game today for Man City. It was a tough midfield to compete in. I'd probably say a 6, maybe a 6.5 if I'm being really generous. But I think he was above average. But I've seen Fred compete against City better than that. Like that wasn't his best game tonight, but he was still decent.
We'll give him a 6.
6?
We'll set him on a 6, yeah.
What about McTominay then?
I see people not rating McTominay tonight on these chats. 4.5 or a 5.
He's enough one though, isn't he? He does the dirty work, like you say. He does the dirty work.
But again, we had this last time. He's played some games so outstanding that if you think if you can play that well, why can't you consistently play that well? And when he doesn't reach those levels, it becomes very frustrating to see because those games stick in the mind of people.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Zachariah, thank you so much for the super chat. So you need to stop favouring players, and Donny is better than Scott and Fred. Maguire and Victor should not play together anymore. Ollie out. I mean, after seeing how good Boye has played last few games, I must admit, I was a bit gutted not to see Boye starting. But at the same time, you have to think level-headed and think he's made of glass. We have got to try and protect him. But the whole Donny situation is baffling me, and I agree with what Doug said earlier. It seems like it's more of a Woodward signing rather than an Ollie one, Meg. Donny can't simply buy a game at the minute. I fully expect him to play against Watford, but has he signed for Manchester United to compete in games against Watford? I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
I don't think he would sign thinking, oh, can I have 90 minutes against Watford in the cup. I think obviously he wants to play more. Everybody wants to play more, don't they? Unless he's playing every week out. But favouring players, the fact that I don't think Ollie still knows his starting 11 to me suggests that he doesn't favour players because we don't consistently play the same players all the time, bar kind of the attacking side. You see us swap and change that defence. We've gone from Lindelof to Maguire to Bailly and Maguire. We've gone from 5 and a 4, Tellers and Shaw.
Yeah.
Really only Maguire gets a solid game at the back. So I don't think he favours him as such. I just don't think he knows his favourite 11 to start playing players consistently. Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I can think for Boye not playing is because, like you said, to protect him. Because based on form, he should definitely be starting ahead of Lindelof, 100%.
Yeah, but the man's made, like you just said, the man is made of glass. He needs to be protected at some point. We are not going to see Bailly.
Do you think that he should have played tonight and rested him against Watford, though? Because that's another great opportunity, isn't it, to rest him?
That would have probably been how I would have done it.
Yeah. But like I say, I'm not saying it because... Let's face it, we haven't lost because Boye didn't play. But I'm just saying, for me, he should have played and I would have probably rested him at the weekend. Or even try and get an early goal first half, go at City a bit more, knowing that you've got pace at the back and you can trust going a bit more forwards, leaving a bit more space in behind because, Boye's quick enough to recover, getting a few goals early and then maybe bring them off at half-time or before the end of the match. Do you know what I mean? I always prefer to get goals behind you and then take your important players off, if you know what I mean, rather than starting without them. But... yeah, it's got to be a protection thing. I just don't understand why he just didn't not play him against Watford. I don't understand why he just didn't rest him then. But obviously, Ollie knows him better than what we do. But I'm not blaming this result on the fact Boye didn't play. I'm just touching on the fact that I think I prefer him over Lindelof alongside Maguire. Moving on to, did we say McTominay score? Did we say? I mean, a lot of people not rated him in the chat. There's 4.5s, 5s.
I think a 5.
5 is an average. 5 is an average. I think I'll probably give him a 5 as an average score. So should we go in the middle ground? Most of the chat's saying 4.5. Got 4.25 there from Twisted. So we'll go for a 5 for McTominay. Rashford then. A player that's frustrating because he makes so many good runs, but he's offside so much as well.
It was frustrating to watch tonight. Should we read this one out? I'm blue. Ollie just said, we are not good enough to win the big matches and we missed that little extra, and Carabao Cup is rigged in City's favour anyways. Well, what can you say when your manager's coming out and saying that we're not good enough to win the big matches, if that's what he's just come out and said? We sat here and said we didn't win this match because the quality of Manchester United players in terms of what they can produce wasn't as good tonight as the Man City players. We lost it on purely the fact that they went out there and played better than us tonight. There is no way that we can sit here and say we should have won, because I think they deserve to win on the way that they've performed. But going into that match, it was equal. That the team that we put out wasn't weak. It wasn't our second strength side. That was our first strength side with a few changes against one of their first strength side with a few changes. So I actually think we balanced each other out in terms of leading into the game.
Yeah.
But just their quality beat us tonight. And I think if you want to win those semi-finals, that quality has got to be up to scratch every single time.
It's the key moments, isn't it? The key moments, and we didn't take advantage of that. We had plenty of moments where we could have got a goal, but just didn't take advantage of it. And then making errors at the back, City are always going to punish you at the end of the day. That's what they do. And that's what cost us at the end of the day. But Rashford, I think he had an average game. Like I said, I think he made good runs and whatnot. I think he was absent for large parts of the game as well. Again, that's down to service as well, and the fact that City dominated the ball. But I just felt like he wasn't in the game enough tonight, Rashford. And when he was making those runs, he was straying offside too much. I mean, what would you give him, Meg? And you know I'm a big Rashford fan, but it was frustrating to watch tonight.
Very frustrating to watch. But he was getting into positions and still, although the position was the fact that he went offside, actual area of the pitch that he was in and the fact that he was isolating their fullback, for me, I'll still give him a 6.
He did that great little run at the start, didn't he? And I was like, yeah, Rashford's on it tonight. This is what I want to see more of. When he turned, I think it was Zinchenko inside out, got the shot away, and then Diaz made that great block. I just wanted to see that more. I think Rashford, for me, when he gets the ball, he's too reluctant to run at a player, and he just wants to play the simple pass sometimes. And I'm thinking just run at him. Like, when he runs at players, he's frightening. I just want to see more of that from Rashford. And I just didn't see enough of that tonight. And again, it's about service as well, and I accept that. But I thought it was just an average game from him. I mean, I've seen a few 6.5s in the chat as well, putting him higher. Should we give him a 6 and average it out, Meg?
Give him a 6.
Bruno Fernandes, then.
Look, we said that for his standards, it wasn't good enough tonight. Again, another player that was frustrating to watch, because I just feel like when he plays well, the whole team plays well, everyone's spirits are lifted. I don't want to score him too early. A 7. I wouldn't give him a 7.
I wouldn't put him that high up personally.
There is no way he's going for 7, but there's no way that he's going as low as a 4. I'm sorry. There's ones that I've seen as a 4 as well. So I will give him, from my point of view, a 5.5.
It's hard to argue with that. Someone said he's having too many shots from ridiculous range. He did, to be fair, but at the same time, is that because he's trying something? I mean, look, the big one for me is in that the first half when City were wide open, the ball's coming to Bruno in a great position, and rather than taking a touch and just playing the pass the way he should do, he's tried to do a first time outside of the right foot, fancy pass, and he just kicks it right to their keeper, and it's just frustrating. Like, that's what I mean by the key moments. De Bruyne there quite often makes the right pass. Bruno's just being too quick, too rash. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not comparing De Bruyne and Bruno like people do on Twitter and stuff like that, trying to get an argument. But I'm just saying, like, in key moments, like, we weren't good enough, and that was one example of it. So yeah, I think a 5.5.
Because I like Cam Lesh's tweet, 6 because he tried. It's an absolute A-star for effort from you, Bruno. But for me, I'm still giving you a 5.5.
Yeah, Pogba. What are we saying about him?
A 6. I think he played better than Bruno. Everyone knows I'm a big Pogba fan. I think he played better than Bruno. I think he kept the ball alive at times. Didn't play the most magnificent game. everyone even if he had the best game in the world, people will still slate him. But for me, I actually think that he played a 6.
Yeah, I think 6 is fair. Slightly above average. Had a few little good touches, but again, I just wanted him in the game a bit more. But I felt at times we were chasing shadows, to be honest, we were miles off City, and it was frustrating to watch. But yeah, I don't think Pogba was awful. I'd probably say he was one of our better players on the night. So yeah, I think a 6 is a fair score. And then Martial up top. Thoughts on his performance, man?
I think he had a bang average game, so 1.5. Literally a bang average game. If Martial summed up the word average tonight for me.
Yeah, Meg's on a bit of a, I don't know if everyone in the chat let me know if Meg's lagging for you, because she was really slow for me then. I did hear what she said though. She said bang average game from Martial. She's giving him a 5. Let us know in the chat as well. 4, 4.5, 4 for Pogba there, sorry. 3 below average. Martial's looking yeah, to be fair, he was lucky there.
Look up average in the dictionary, Martial versus Man City, 6th of January 2021. That is the picture of him. Literally, he didn't play bad, but he didn't play like great. He literally just played. If you got to say, he was like, okay, he was good. And then goes, okay. That's what I was going to say. How did Martial play? Okay.
Yeah, I think an average. I think I'm going to go over 5. An average performance from him. Didn't do anything special, but I do think he got lucky, like Shivan says there, for that dive. It was a dodgy one that he went through the gap, which wasn't even there in the first place, but then obviously he just angled the leg and put himself onto the floor. I don't like seeing that, to be honest, because Martial is a better player than that. But yeah, I think it was an average performance. I'll probably say a 5. Yeah, a 5 for him. In terms of subs, Van der Beek obviously came on, Greenwood came on. We'll start with Greenwood first. How did you think he did, Meg?
Injected a little bit of pace into the attack again. I just sometimes you know what he's going to do. He's going to come in, do a couple of step overs, trying to get a shot off. But again, just another average performance to me. I think really, if you give him anything higher than a 5.5, he'd be pushing it. So I would stick with a 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. I think he did try and make stuff happen when he came on. He did that nice little run where he just probably tried to beat one man too many. But I think he did try, he did try and get at them when he came on. It's just that obviously it was a difficult time for him to come on in the game. But yeah, Greenwood 5.5. I'll go slightly above average. And then Donny, 4 minutes. I mean, I'm going to say a 5 straight away because what's he meant to do in that time? I'm going to give him an average. Meg, Donny, what are you giving him?
Just a 5. I feel sorry for the man. I honestly do. But I do expect to see him against Watford. And we've waited so long. If I see anything less than an 8, I'm going to be really annoyed because we have literally been begging Ollie to play him. So now is his time to shine.
Fingers crossed he does play against Watford, and I hope he has a worldie of a game, and then we see him far more regularly in the shirt, because I do think he's a great little player. But at the minute, it's just not looking like he's an Ollie player, and I'm interested to see where he's going to fit in. But guys, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone in the chat. Sorry that we've kind of blasted through it. We've still done nearly 40 minutes, which is good. But yeah, apologies for that, obviously. Hopefully I'll feel a bit better. We are going to try and do, hopefully, a show tomorrow night. Just discussing with Meg and some other special guests on availability, but we'll let you know on that one. If you could obviously follow our socials that are on the screen there. Meg's are just below. Go and follow Meg. Great content all the time. Talk about United. Men and women. I'm going to add that on there. Sorry, Meg, were you going to say something?
No, but I was trying to find, I think it's over this side, but it's not. It's here. I'm back to front on the camera. When I see myself on the screen, it's the wrong side. Oh, everyone wants an Ollie rating.
Yes, and obviously we've got to add Ollie on. Sorry, guys, my bad. Meg, Ollie rating. You didn't play Boye?
No, I'm not. I'm not dropping too low for that. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue was we waited too long. I think we waited too long for subs.
Donny, 4 minutes for me.
I will give him I'll give him a 4.5. Alex is right, 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. It's hard to. You got to say below average could be lost. You got to say, 4.5 4.5. I agree with that one. I'll go with that for Ollie. Guys, if you are new, please hit that sub button. We do appreciate it. Hit the like button on the video. If we have missed you in the chat, I do apologise. Just drop a comment afterwards. Me and Meg check them, and of course we'll respond there. Thanks to everybody who's contributed as well with the super chats. Really do appreciate your support, and everybody in the chat. Of course, this channel isn't anything without you guys, so thank you so much. Me and Meg will be back tomorrow with some special guests. Fingers crossed that. But I will tweet out to confirm it, guys. But yeah, it's looking likely that will happen. So we hope to see you there. But all that's left to say is keep smiling. Back against Watford at the weekend. Hopefully get another win and a few goals there. Keep smiling, innit, Meg?
As always, that's what we're here for.
Exactly. Yeah. Have a good night, guys. Take care, and we'll see you very soon.